Hey guys, alright, today is Thursday. It is the 19th, I believe, and it's probably, I'm not sure what time it is. It's after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I know that. Anyway, I'm just jumping in real quick, and this is basically for people who deal with AS, Ankylosing Spondylitis, or people who have any kind of mobility, something that hinders your mobility, whether it be lupus or whatever the autoimmune disease is that hinders our day-to-day life, let's put it that way. And the main thing is I just want to address some of the newer people that are being diagnosed with AS. Just, you know, it's scary, it's hard, it's confusing, but basically, you know, what you need to do is just be your own advocate. Read up on it, do some research on it. Go to sources online that are legitimate. Just don't, you know, you gotta be careful when you're looking online for different things. But, and please, by all means, make sure you have a good rheumatologist, one that's gonna listen to you. Take all your concerns into consideration and knows about the disease, period. That is the #1 thing, is your rheumatologist, and don't be afraid to ask him questions, him or her, to ask questions, maybe give them some ideas if you find them or whatever. If they are a good doctor, they are going to be open to listening to you more so than one that considers you just a number and that's it. So, like, again, the main thing is find the right rheumatologist. There's so much, you know, there's so much, and I'm probably going to do this in different segments. But yeah, the main thing is that learn about it, and you know, it gets easier to a certain point, but it just depends, you know, are we in a flare, are you not in a flare, or what's going on? It's just, there's a lot to this disease, and I can't get everything into one video, but, again, rheumatologist, get a good rheumatologist. As far as medications go, I'm not really going to get into medications, I'll just tell you what I'm on, because, obviously I'm not going to say anything that is not true or factual as far as medications go. And medications affect all of us differently. It depends on your system. So, I myself right now, I'm on Celebrex. I will be going on, I just got taken off of Enbrel, and I'll be starting Remicade infusion. And I'm not sure if he's going to keep me on the Celebrex or switch me over to, I don't know what, anyway, that's what I'm doing. So, as I find out, I'll let you guys know. But, yeah, as far as the medications go, you know, I'm not really going to get into specifics on any of that, because some of it, I just don't know. Again, everybody's system is different, everybody's tolerance is different. Some things work for, you know, things that work for me may not work for you, and vice versa, so I'm not going to really get into that. But, read up on them, especially the biologics. You know, a lot of people are nervous about them, but the benefits outweigh the risk, if that makes any sense. And those of you who've been dealing with this for quite some time know what I'm talking about. So, but in any case, you know, again, don't be too taken back about the diagnosis. And 9 times out of 10, if you are just now being diagnosed, you've probably already been dealing with it for quite some time. So, you know, like myself, I've been dealing with this since I was in my teens. And I didn't get diagnosed till 3 years ago, and I'm 46 now. So, you know, every time I go to do a video, my phone rings, but it's going to have to ring. Anyway, I will say, you know, those of you that are watching, because the main reason I'm doing this is because the support groups that I'm in on Facebook, so this is where this is being posted, but that is the best place to get information, is some other patients and people dealing with it. You're also going to find people who don't understand and are not willing to understand, but at the same time will get mad at you when you don't feel like doing something. That's something we're going to have to get used to. Going to have to do it. It's not easy, it's hurtful, but at the same time, we can only get so angry with them to a certain degree because they don't know. They're not in our bodies, so they don't know what we're going through. But it's hard. It's something that you're going to have to learn to. And I shouldn't even say learn to deal with, because it is still hard to deal with anyway, but, you know, people just don't understand it. Nor will they. But, yeah. Try to make things a little bit easier on yourself. You know, if you are in the process of fusing especially, don't be afraid to do certain things and get used to doing them to make things, you know, easier for you and more safe for you. Number one, I got a cane about a year or so ago, but you will never ever see me with it in my hand, yeah, as far as walking. I have used it as far as helping get myself up off the floor, but as far as using it to walk, I haven't used, because I still, even though I'm in a lot of pain in my hips at times, I still try to keep those moving on my own. You know, if you are in a bad episode, or what we call a flare, and you drop something on the floor, rather, you know, than bending over to pick it up, get a reacher or a grabber. It's just some people call it a reacher, some people call it a grabber. You can find them at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and it's just got a little trigger. Pick whatever you pick it up at that end, and makes a lot, you know, just makes it easier. So, but over time you will learn the little tips and tricks and the ins and outs and all, as it were. Yeah, I have so much to say in a limited time to say it in, because you only get so much on this camera. That's why I think I'm going to do it in little segments over time. The main thing that I want to get across to you just in this video now is the simple fact that you are not alone. Obviously, you know, you found yourself in this chat group, and, you know, even though I'm relatively new to it as well, I have gained so much useful information from other members, and it's a great resource to go to when you have questions or confused about something, or you got a new pain cropping up. And believe me, you will find that you will have a new pain crop up from time to time that just comes out of nowhere. If you haven't already experienced it, you know, this is why the medications are so important, to get it under control to a certain degree. But the spasming and all that stuff, I mean, you know, and people don't know, it is hell, you know, and the littlest thing can trigger it. So I'm going to be getting into all that probably in the next video. I'll get that up within the next few days or whenever. But the main thing I want to get across today is, number one, make sure you get a good rheumatologist, one that listens to you and understands you. Make sure, you know, you sit down with people within your household, talk to them, look things up online, go through it with them, and again, be careful where you get things online, because a lot of things are just, you know, can mislead you or make things even more confusing. Talk to people in your house about helping you you know, doing just the smallest little things that can make a big, big difference, like putting things in a lower, like for instance, you're cleaning the kitchen, don't put things up on the top shelf where you cannot get them. I will get into all that in the next video as well, but just do, you know, just think of little things that can help your day better, because it's a tiny thing that can screw the whole day up, and, you know, you already know this. But now that you know that it's something you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life, you have to make some changes, and whether it be diet changes, I'll get into that later, because quite honestly I don't know that much about it, but I do know things that trigger my pain or certain things that I eat, but I'll get into all that later. And yeah, the only thing I have is just take your time when you're doing stuff, be very vigilant, be very careful, talk to your rheumatologist, get on the right medications. It's going to be trial and error probably at first, and you know, I want to say say that things get easier, and they do to a certain degree up here as you're going along. Even though we get upset, we get angry, we get so over it sometimes, but your focus will mainly turn to, instead of like, oh my god, what do I do? It'll mainly go into you'll transition into this, okay, what are we going to do to get rid of this pain? That's the main thing, get rid of the pain, so, and keep it from progressing. But that's what I mean by getting easier. You'll go from one, you know, you'll transition over into a different mindset. So, probably doesn't make sense to you now. For those of you who've been dealing with it for years, like I myself, you know what I'm talking about. So it's hard to get across sometimes. Alright, I'm going to get off here for now. I'm going to work on some things to do in the next video that I do, and I'll probably go jump on and get some, you know, different ideas from you guys as well. Alright, I'm going to get off here for now. I will talk to you guys later. Yeah. Bye, guys.